Hi humans, my name is Dorje. I'm a yoga instructor. Thanks for joining me today. So my plan today is to do a little flow for when you're pissed. Now, everybody processes anger differently, and I used to think that I needed to be angry in order to be productive, and that's not necessarily true. It takes extra energy to convert anger into productive energy as opposed to letting the anger go and then allowing creative energy to just flow through you. So, anger is a pitta aspect, and pitta is, in Ayurvedic terms, half fire, half water. So obviously anger is all of the fire element just exploding, right? You need to bring in the fluidity, the water, the tempering, the softening. So we're just gonna move in a way that feels good. If you wanna put on music that makes you feel awesome and badass, if you wanna put on something that makes you feel calmer, basically something that doesn't inflame the anger, but it also doesn't feel like you're forcing to temper the anger as well. You're just letting the anger be. And then by moving our bodies, hopefully we will dissipate a little bit of that anger. So we're gonna start by standing, and I'll be at the center of the mat. This will be the top of my mat. I always put my screen at the top right hand or left hand corner of my mat when I'm doing a video at home, because it's easier whenever I have to move orientations. So if you'd like to take that suggestion, awesome. If you have your own setup, then do that. From standing, step your feet wider than your hips and then just wiggle a little side to side. So we are accepting that we're pissed. We are accepting that anger is happening right now. So this is how I feel. This is why I am uploading this video, because this is a real life thing that people go through. How do we deal with it? This is one of the ways that you can deal with it. It might work for you, it might not work for you. You might stop the video halfway through and be over it. So just gently shift side to side, so shifting the weight to one foot and then the other. I like to pick up one heel and then the other. I also like to pick up one set of toes and then the other. So just experiment with what makes sense to you. And then picking up the entire foot, nice and slow with control, but relaxed control. Like, all right, I'm picking up my foot, cool. I feel the outsides of my hips working. Then you can start to move the arms as well. Again, we're bringing in this fluidity, right? This water element to relax the fire. We don't want the fire to go out completely, because pitta people like me, we like the fire. We want to befriend the fire. So how can we do that? And then just kind of going side to side by twisting. And as you twist, make sure that the heel picks up. So you're not planting the feet. The knees want to move, the ankles want to move, the whole foot wants to move, even if you want to kind of crunch in the toes if that feels good to you. And then imagine with this water element that you're just tracing the surface of water. So imagine like you're at a water aerobics class and you're an older person, and all you're doing is tracing circles on the surface of water. And then switch directions of your circles. See if you can soften through your jaw, relax through your face, turn your gaze downward towards the floor. Again, tempering the fire, but we're not aiming to put it out. And then long, slow, deep breaths. And a little bit of Tai Chi movement. So take your left arm and press it over to the right and turn your knees and your toes. Inhale, come back to center. Maybe open the arms. Exhale, press your right arm over to the left. So notice my back heel picks up as I turn. Coming back to center, inhaling, maybe a little squat if that feels good. Exhaling, press to the right. Inhaling, come back to center. Exhale, press to the left. One more time, each side. Inhaling to center. Exhale, press right. Last side, inhale, center. Open, fluid. Exhale, press left. Good. Next inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, turn knees and toes to the right and then bend elbows and knees down. This is like a queen squat or a Michael Jackson squat. Inhale, come back to center. Same thing, other side. Turn to the left. Exhale, elbows and knees bend. Inhale, come back to center. Maybe look up with eyes half closed. Exhale, elbows and knees bend. Oh yeah. Inhale, back to center, open. Exhale, twist and bend down to the left. One more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend down to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend down to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Feet are wide. Exhale, you're gonna hinge laterally over to the right and then spiral the bottom arm. Inhale, come back to center. Again, that fluid element, that flowing motion. Exhale, hinge over to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, spiral over to the right again. Maybe bend the knees a little bit more. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hinge over to the left. Inhale, center. Shock surprise 3 times. One more time to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. Widen the elbows, reach them back behind the shoulder blades. Lift the heart, maybe lift the chin a little with a soft gaze. Exhale, forearms together, round the upper spine and look down between your feet. Inhale, open the chest and elbows, maybe lift the chin. Exhale, forearms together, round and look down. One more time, inhale, lengthen and open. Exhale, round, look down. Last time. Inhale, open. Exhale, and just float your hands down to your sides like they're leaves falling off of trees. Cool. And then just, again, shifting the weight side to side. Notice the strength in the feet, the strength in the legs, and then walk your feet a little bit closer together. So you can circle through the right knee. Go forward 3 times and backward 3 times. Micro bend through the left knee. And if you want to do something interesting with the arms, just decide. Move them, don't move them. Most stable is hands at hips. When you're done, plant the right foot down, shift the weight, other side. Left knee circles forward 3 times. Maybe try something different. And backward 3 times. I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling less pissed, which is helpful. And then back to center, stepping a little bit wider. Inhale, lengthen the arms up for star. Exhale, bend elbows and knees, just a baby squat. Inhale, straighten and lengthen. Exhale, elbows and knees bent. One more time. Inhale, lengthen and straighten. Exhale, elbows and knees bend. Good. Inhale, lengthen back up. I would say my feet a little bit closer together for this. Exhale, left elbow towards right knee. Maybe it touches, maybe it just gets close, no problem. Inhale, open again. See how fluidly you can do this. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Inhale, open. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, open. Exhale, right elbow to left. Inhale, open. One more time, each side at your own pace. When you inhale back to star, exhale, press the palms slowly out and down. Then clasp your elbows behind you, micro bend through the knees. Weight a little more in the heels. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. And then just gently roll your ears side to side. Self-care is always helpful for anger. So sometimes we get pissed because we don't feel like we're either taking care of ourselves or other people are taking care of themselves, or we don't feel like we are being taken care of. So if we do a little bit of self-love, self-care movement, that helps to dissipate a lot of that fire. If it feels good, fully rotate the head. If it doesn't feel good, then just keep doing those semicircles. So do a couple one way, and then if you like, switch, do a couple the other way. Then coming back to center, gently shake out the hands and gently shake out your feet. So from the top of the mat, maybe if you can see the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, micro bend your knees and fold over the legs. So bend your knees enough that your ribs touch the tops of your thighs, and heel toe your feet so they're about hips width apart, and then just walk out your forward fold. So bend one knee, straighten the other leg, and then switching sides. Again, fluidity, water, motion, gently eroding away at our anger. Keep that bend in the knees, root through the feet. Inhale, lengthen up halfway, long spine, look down towards the floor. Exhale, fold back over your legs, Uttanasana. Again, inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, fold. And last one, inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise to stand, reach all the way to the ceiling. Exhale, hand towards your heart center. So something a little familiar, half sun flow. Inhale, reach your arms up, root through your feet. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way over your legs, bend through your knees. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, refold forward. Inhale, rise tall, reach all the way up. Exhale, again, hands towards your heart. Again, inhale, upward facing hands. Exhale, fold all the way over your legs, bend through your knees. Inhale, half lift, long spine, soft shoulders. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise tall, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands towards heart. Last time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, folds. Bend through those knees. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, folds. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. So take your hands to your hips and then step your left foot back. Your feet are in train tracks, not on a tightrope, so you feel stable in your stance. Straight through the legs, micro bend through the knees, hands towards your hips. Inhale, lift through your heart, and exhale, hinge forward. So again, these soft movements eroding away. Inhale, lengthen to stand. Option to reach your arms up towards the ceiling if that feels good. Exhale, hinge forward. Lower the arms level with the floor. One more time. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep the legs stable. Inhale, lengthen tall to stance. Exhale, bend the right knee over or just behind the right ankle. Virabhadrasana 1. One more inhale, lengthen tall, reach through the crown. Exhale, reach your right arm back behind you, twist open. Inhale, come back to center, warrior 1. Exhale, twisting open. That slow, fluid movement. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist open, last time. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands to hips. Shift and step forward. Tadasana. Wiggle it out, move it out. So again, just like we started class with, shifting a little side to side, maybe picking up the feet, noticing how your right leg feels in relation to your left leg, and then step the feet back, hips width apart, hands to your hips. This time your right foot steps back. So again, straight through the legs. They're on train tracks, not a tight rope. Micro bend through the knees, root through the feet to lift tall. Hands can be at your hips or they can start overhead. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, go forward, maybe level the arms. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Imagine like you're in water, and if that makes you feel like you're drowning, then don't imagine that. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, bend your left knee. Just make sure it doesn't go past the ankle because we're going to hold it here. Take one more inhale, lift through the crown, soften the shoulders from the ears. Exhale with your left arm back, twist open to the left. Maybe look behind you. Inhale, back to center, lengthen tall, warrior 1. Exhale, twist your warrior, open your left arm. Inhale, center. Exhale, one last twist to the left. Inhale, lengthen tall, warrior 1, Vira 1. Exhale, hands to hips, step yourself forward and walk it out. If you still feel mad, if you're still pissed, you can stick your tongue out just a little bit and inhale through your mouth. Close your mouth, exhale through your nose. Step your feet hips width apart. Again, inhale through your mouth. Close your mouth, exhale through your nose. You're literally cooling your body from the inside out. One more time, inhale mouth. Close your mouth, exhale nose. Root through your feet, inhale, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge forward, ribs to thighs, Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold fingers down, left foot back, left knee down to the mat. And then again, that fluid motion, just straighten and bend into your right knee. If you've done my videos before, you know I love all of this stuff, obviously. So if you're mad, then you should be doing things that you like. That's why we're doing this. So if you like it, thanks for joining. And then maybe even going side to side or tracing circles with your hips. And if you have blocks or if that works better for you, please use blocks or any props that you're like, yeah, I'm a props person. Use props to be less pissed. Okay, so as you bend your right knee over your ankle, root through your right foot and your left knee. And inhale, lengthen up for Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And then do the same thing. So you're straightening and bending into your right knee. Maybe you just relax your hands to your low back. Maybe you take them to your right thigh. Maybe you do something wonky with them. Or maybe it doesn't feel wonky to you. Again, what's going to make you feel less mad and more productive? The next time you straighten your right leg, just don't bend or don't lock the knee out. Root through the legs as you inhale, lengthen up. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, ribs towards your right thigh. And then from here, you can inhale, reach your arms back behind you. Exhale, reach them forward. Or if you like it, reverse it. So you can inhale, reach forward, and exhale, reach back. So do that 4 times total with the breath that works better for you. And if you don't know, try it twice, both ways. Then you can rebend into your right knee when you're done with the 4 rounds. Take your left fingers down under your shoulder. Inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lace your right hand underneath your right thigh like you're giving yourself a hug. Like, yes, it's okay. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hug your right thigh. Inhale, open one more time. Exhale, hug yourself. Right hand outside your right foot, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step forward and fold over your legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale to folds. Inhale, rise to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, reach the arms. Exhale, hands towards your heart. Okay, other side, inhale, reach up, Urdhva. Exhale, fold forward, bend through your knees. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, right foot back, right knee to the mat, and then immediately straighten and bend into your left knee. And again, if you've watched my videos before, I'm always like, my left side is so much tighter than my right side. So hopefully, if you have an imbalance that is similar or even the opposite of me, try not to let that inflame your anger. Be like, all right, this is a fact. We're dealing with the fact. It's gonna be okay. These are things I tell myself, obviously. And then again, bending into your left knee, you're gonna stabilize through the legs by rooting down. Inhale, shoulders stack over hips, hands can come to hips, or you can immediately take the hands to the low back. And then as you root, again, straighten and bend through the left knee. See, like I totally forgot that we did circles on the first side because my left side is tight. So you're building strength at the same time as you're stretching a little bit. It's mostly stabilizing. So again, next time your left leg straightens, keep that micro bend in the knee. Inhale, lift through your heart. Exhale, hinge at hips, ribs towards left thigh. And then if you remember which breath cycle you liked better, you can inhale, arms forward, or inhale, arms back, and then exhale to switch. Do that 4 times. Notice the fluidity in your breath. Then rebend your left knee when you're done with all 4 rounds. Your right hand comes under your right shoulder. Inhale, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling to twist. Then exhale, hug your left thigh. Love yourself. Inhale, reach the left arm up again. Exhale, hug the thigh. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale to hug. Release the left hand down. So plant the palms or plant the palms on blocks. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Step back, plank. So pittas being the intense and the only Ayurvedic dosha that includes fire, need a little bit of a challenge too. So with your plank pose, shoulders stack over wrists. You're gonna press your knuckles and your fingerprints into the mat. Microbend your elbows and then push the floor away. So if you feel like you're collapsing down, you wanna feel space in your armpits as though you could put a tennis ball in each of your armpits. Then the heels stack over the ball mounds of the feet. And you want to feel your thighs engaged. This is like a whole body workout, obviously. Like, you've probably done a plank before, so hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. And you're like, why are you still talking, Dorje? Can we hang out and stop now? But we're going to take one more inhale. And exhale. Knees can lower, or you can chaturanga all the way to the floor. Whew. Bend the knees and then just swish side to side. And see if you can go slow and with control in a relaxed but soft way, as opposed to a quick and unconscious way. Relax the tops of the toes to the mat. Plug them in. You can even engage through the legs if that feels good. Slide the hands back by your ribs. Soften the shoulders. Look down towards the mat. Inhale, lift your head and heart. Baby cobra. Maybe float the hands. Exhale, lower the heart and the chin towards the mat. Inhale to lift it back up. Again, maybe float the hands. Exhale to lower. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift the head and heart. Exhale, soften down. I lied, I feel like doing it one more time. Inhale, lift the head and heart. And exhale, release. So elbows forward. I just like to hang out like I'm chilling. And then you can just wiggle the hips side to side or do what you were just doing and pick up the feet and swish your feet side to side. Again, assess how you're feeling. So are you feeling the same angry? Are you feeling more angry? Are you feeling less angry? I'm guessing if you felt angrier, then you just turned the video off and you went away. Fine. But if you're feeling less angry like me, awesome. That means you're doing the productivity that we want to be doing. From here, Sphinx pose. So elbows under shoulders. If you're not sure where that is, just make sure you can grab the outsides of your triceps. That takes your elbows directly under shoulders. And then just plant your forearms forward and down. From here, root through the elbows. Inhale, lift the crown of the head, lift the chin. Exhale, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Do that twice more. Inhale, lift your head, push through the elbows. Exhale, soften down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then find somewhere in the middle of both of those. So you're not extending, you're not flexing, you're not trying too hard. You're getting a nice curve in the upper spine, but it's not too extended. And then look down towards the floor in front of you. Again, stick out your tongue a little bit. Inhale through your mouth. Close your mouth, exhale through your nose. Again, inhale through your mouth. Close mouth, exhale nose. One more time, inhale slow through your mouth. Exhale slow through your nose. Awesome. And then just tip a little side to side. Nice and slow. Feel out the low back, feel out the shoulders. And then I really need the stretch, so we're gonna do it. So the left arm goes straight out to the side, the palm comes to the floor. The right hand comes under the right shoulder. You're gonna slowly press yourself to roll onto the left hip. So my right knee just automatically bends, but if you need to bend your lower leg, that's fine. Or if you need to place your right foot in front of your left leg, or even bend both legs because it's too intense in the shoulder, no problem. Anything that feels good in the front pec of your left shoulder, that's what we're going for. And anything that feels good in your low back as well. So you want your head to be relaxed onto the floor, maybe onto a prop. If that feels better for you, you can always take your right arm back behind you. And then at any time, adjust. Don't just lay there being pissed. Move around so you feel comfortable. Move around so that you're getting a stretch that feels good to you. And then you can soften your face, soften the muscles in your jaw. And give yourself some long, slow breaths. All right, your next exhale, slowly roll back to your belly. Then you come back up onto your forearms. Again, grab outside your triceps. This time you're gonna interlace the fingers, create a triangle foundation, tuck the toes, inhale, lift the head, exhale, lift the hips, forearm plank. Again, we need a little bit of challenge as pitta people. So we like the fire, we want to have good embers of fire, but we don't want it to be a wildfire out of control. So pushing down into the elbows, you're almost rounding the shoulders. You kind of are rounding the shoulders to engage the shoulder complex. And you want to feel that space in the armpits, that space for your pretend tennis balls. And you want to feel the engagement of the legs to hold the hips up. Take one more inhale. And exhale, slowly lower knees, then hips down. Move a little side to side. And then we'll do the same shoulder stretch on the other side. So this time the right arm goes straight out to the side, palm face down, left hand under left shoulder. Roll yourself to your right hip. Oh, like everything just cracked. Oh man, that was nice. Find your variation on this side that works for you. It could look very similar or it could look very different from your left side. So again, don't just lay there being pissed that we're in this position. Adjust to where you feel comfortable, but also a nice stretch. Maybe somewhere in the right shoulder. Maybe you feel it relaxing the low back a bit. And again, give yourself a few long, slow breaths. On your next exhale, slowly roll onto your belly again. Ugh. And they're just gonna tip side to side with the shoulders. And if you don't like that as much as bent knees, swishing side to side, then do that instead. Again, a soft fluidity, just like a gently going stream of cool water, just tempering the anger so you're not out of control. Then from here, I like to tuck my toes for up dog, plant the palms under the shoulders, Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, press into the palms to lift the hips and the heart. So you want to feel like your heels are reaching back, your heart is reaching forward, micro bend through the elbows, soften the shoulders from your ears. So then if you're not sure what that means, shrug your shoulders to your ears and then push the floor away to take the shoulders away from your ears. Again, keep that micro bend in the elbows. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come to table. Wiggle around in your table. You should feel good. And I'm gonna face you just so you can see better. You stay where you are. Take your right foot out to the side and then just shift gently forward and back. Inhale, come to high kneeling with this leg position. Reach both arms up. Exhale, hinge over towards the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left palm plants down, reach your right arm up, micro bend your left elbow, maybe float your right foot off the mat. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hinge over to the right, crossbar, gate, Varigasana, whatever you call this. Inhale, center. Exhale, left palm down, right arm up, right foot can float, doesn't have to. Lower the foot, inhale, back to center. One more time, each side. Exhale, over to the right, hinge, inhale, center. Exhale, left palm down, right arm up, right foot can float. Then pausing here, if you want, bend the top knee and then reach for a little quad stretch. If you want a big challenge, fingertips, bigger challenge, float. Sometimes to alleviate anger, we need to focus on a challenge. Something that is fun and playful, but also hard. Because then we can laugh at ourselves and it makes us feel better. Take one more inhale wherever you are. Exhale, lower everything back down to the table and some cat-cows. Inhale, lift the heart and the tail. Exhale, arch the spine, look to the belly. Again, inhale, belly down, heart lifts. Exhale, back reaches to the ceiling. One more time, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, arch and flex. Then back to center, move it around in a way that feels good. And then you just stick your left foot out to the side. So the same thing, just move forward and back a little bit for a hot second. Noticing the fluidity with which your joints move. Be like, cool, my joints move. Sometimes that's the only win we have, that we can move around. So sometimes that's what we'll take. Root through the legs. Inhale, reach tall, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right palm down, left arm up. Left foot can float, it does not have to. Then lower the foot before you inhale to come back up to center. Exhale, hinge over to the left again. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right palm down, left arm up. Left foot can float. Lower it down, inhale, come back to center. One more time, each side. Exhale to hinge. Inhale to come back. Exhale, whatever this is, modified side plank, I guess is what I like to call it. And then you have that option, bend the top knee, reach for the ankle. You can pause anywhere on the way or not do any of this at all. Maybe come to fingertips. Maybe try to balance. Ooh, this side is way harder. So finding a little bit of compassion for yourself if you're trying any of the versions, even if you're super stable, be compassionate to yourself. That's also gonna help with your anger. Guess what also is gonna help is breathing. So take one more inhale. And exhale, lower everything back down to tabletop pose. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, lower it down. One more time. Each side. And I'm going to go back to this orientation so you can see better. Knees can go as wide as the mat or they can stay together. Untuck the toes, hips to heels. Guess what? It's child's pose. If this is uncomfortable in any way, just keep the hips up and then you can lower your forearms down, stack your fists, and lower your forehead to your fists. So you're just creating more space for yourself. Whichever version or somewhere in between makes sense to you, rest there. And then stick out your tongue a little. Inhale through your mouth. Exhale through your nose. Twice more. Inhale through your mouth. Exhale, nose. One more round. Long inhale through your mouth. Long exhale through your nose. Inhale, come back up to table. I don't know about you, but my breath was super hot. My exhale. Tuck toes, lift knees, exhale. Hips up and back, downward facing dog, okay? So move around in any way that feels good to you. And if you're like, I don't know how to move, then bend your knees, bend your elbows, move your head, move your heels. You can pick up one hand or the other hand, or one foot, the other foot, all of the above, none of the above. Kind of what makes sense to you, do it. Inhale, shift forward into plank, shoulders over wrists, push the floor away. Exhale, soften your hips down, shine your heart through your arms, and lift the top of your head, up dog. Inhale, press back up to plank, nice and slow. Exhale, push up and back to down dog. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, shift forward, shoulders over wrists to plank. Exhale, hips lower as your heart comes through. Keep your elbows bent for Urdhva Mukha. Inhale, lift hips to plank. Exhale, press up and back. Adho Mukha, down dog. One more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, up dog. Nice and slow, nice and fluid. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Move around. Don't get mad. Don't get madder. Come to table if that feels good. Move in table if that feels good. And then in your tabletop pose, lower forearms. Shift your forearms forward. Keep your hips over the knees. Then you're going to flip your palms up. Or you can always stack your forearms or stack fists to have your forehead rest on something. Have your forehead resting on something, whether it's your hands, your fists, your forearms, the mat, a block, a book, a journal, for puppy pose. Soften your shoulders from your ears. Relax through your jaw. And when you feel ready, inhale, lift back up to table, tuck toes, lift knees. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Then walk your feet forward for standing forward folds. Inhale, lengthen up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Take your left hand towards your right ankle. And inhale, reach your right arm up, twist. Exhale, right hand towards left ankle. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lower the left hand, reach it across. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, lower the right hand, reach that across. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, lower. One more time each side. Inhale, right arm opens. Exhale, lower, cross it over. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands or upward salute. And exhale, hands towards your heart center. Shake it out, move it out, dance it out. Let go a little bit of any anger that you may still be feeling or experiencing. Anything you are experiencing is okay. And step wide to your mat. So, long stance, wide stance on the long edge. Point the toes out, heels in. Inhale, reach the arms. This should be familiar. We did this at the beginning. Exhale, bend elbows and knees. So this time you're gonna go a little bit deeper into your wide squat. And then I like to go a little side to side. And then if you wanna keep flicking or if you wanna go like you're shooting out some fire, that's totally cool. Sometimes it feels good to have hands at hips, a little bit more stable. And then just notice the strength in your legs, the strength in your entire core, the strength in your whole body. Your body is strong. Your body knows what to do. It's very smart. Let it be smart. Then as you rebend into the knees, hands towards thighs, just soft touch. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, left shoulder towards right knee, twist over. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist right again. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left again. One more time, each side. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Straighten through the legs. Then parallel the feet so the toes are pointing straight forward. Micro-bend through your knees. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Come forward. Wide legs, standing forward fold. Sardapadasana. And then here, I love to move around. Please move around. Just make sure your knees stay bent. And if you want to bend through them more, that's totally cool. Notice anywhere that needs a little extra love. Maybe pause there. Maybe take those tongue out, mouth inhales and nose exhales, if that feels good. Or if you're like, those make me madder, don't do it. I'm not doing it. That's totally fine too. The biggest thing about anger is being aware of how to deal with it when it comes up. You don't need to know why you're mad necessarily, because sometimes that just makes you more pissed if you're busy figuring that out. But what can you do to let go of the anger? And then come up halfway, so long spine, weight a little bit more in the heels, and take your left hand under your face, maybe just fingers tent. Inhale, reach your right arm up. You can bend a little more into your left knee if that feels good. Exhale, lower your top hand. Take your right fingers under your face. Inhale, left arm up. Option, bend a little more into the right knee. Exhale, lower. Same thing. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lower. One more time, each side. Shock surprise. 3 is awesome. Then from here, inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, turn towards the front of your mat. Pick up your back heel, plant both palms. Inhale, step back to plank. So you're gonna hold plank for a hot second again. Push the floor away. Micro-bend your elbows. Lift heels, lift the backs of your knees while still feeling your quads engaging. Feel your hips just floating. Feel your armpits opening. Looking straight down. Then from here, inhale, lower your hips, Pull your heart through, lift your head, upward facing dog. Exhale, push through plank, bend the knees, down dog. And move around in your down dog. And then from here, look at your hands. You're gonna tiptoe your feet a little bit wider than your hands, about as wide as your mat, and then squat down. If your squat looks like this, that's a great squat. I love that squat. If your squat looks like mine, that's also a great squat. If your heels are up, that's also a great squat. So you're just gonna move around in your squat, whatever that looks like, and whatever you feel like doing. And if part of your practice is doing stuff because you're like, I don't need the computer to tell me what to do, I just needed someone to tell me enough of what to do so that I could figure out what I want to do, that's a way to deal with anger. I could give you a bunch of bullshit about how like twists help and stuff. They can, but I don't do well with bullshit, so I'm assuming you don't either. Okay, so the feet need to be a comfortable distance, like around the hips, so you can stand up and squat down. So figure that out. And if you're like, that's not happening, then don't worry about it. You can find a modified chair or a version of chair that works better for you, so you can always come to stand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend knees, set hips back. Just make sure your knees don't go past the toes. So this is still strengthening the legs. If it's accessible for you to come into the squat, then you can widen the stance, toes point out. You can inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, squat low, hands can come down. So find your version or some version that works better for you. Inhale, rise to full stand. Exhale for your chair or your squat, or maybe it's somewhere in between. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower down. And then still hanging out in your chair or your squat. If you're in the squat, take your feet a little bit closer together, because we're gonna do crow, because pittas kneel and arm balance and everything, obviously. So even if you're in chair, you can take your knees towards your elbows. So just above the elbows, there's like a weird little shelf in the backs of your upper arms that you can find. And then if you're squatting, you can lift the hips. If you're in chair, you're already in this position, right? The palms can plant. You want them to go forward of the toes a bit so you can plant and then shift the weight forward. So watch how the elbows go from behind the wrists to on top of the wrists. And then as you push away with space in the armpits, maybe you find some flotation. Imagine like you're just floating on top of the surface of water. Here's that water theme again. If you can hold for a couple rounds of breath, or maybe you're working with lifting one foot and then the other, find what works best for you and then see how slowly and with as much relaxed control you can come back down. So finding your version of a relaxed chair or a squat, moving away that feels good to you. And if you're like, fuck this, I don't want to do it, sit down, round angle, soles of feet together, inhale, lengthen, exhale, hinge forward. If you're like, I want to do this again, we'll do this again. Why not? So again, feet about hips width apart. Touch your knees to that little shelf just above the elbows. You might adjust, you might find a different spot, you might find it's higher for you. It just kind of depends. Some people are on the outside. That takes a little bit more energy because you have to squeeze the legs in. But hey, if you're figuring it out, then you're figuring it out. So we're doing this without props. I have another video that is with props. So you can find that if it calls to you. So as the knees are touching above the elbows, lift hips, plant palms, like a 1.5 feet in front of the toes. Shift the elbows so they hover just over the wrists, so you can find enough pressure in the palms to maybe float one or both of the feet. And you're so close to the ground that if you fall, you're not gonna die, I promise. Never seen anyone die from doing crow pose. Knock on wood, I hope they don't. And then again, with slow control, see if you can step back. And then take the wrists together, fingers open, and then just circle around the wrists, really slow. And then switch directions of the circles. And then we'll all join seated Baddha Konasana. So soles of feet together, feet a little bit further away from you, because I like the outsides of my legs better than the insides of the legs to be stretched. If you want to do the opposite, then just scoot your feet closer to you. I'm not going to do that. Inhale, lift through the heart, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come back to seated. We'll do that twice more before holding. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, lift to seated. Exhale, hinge. And then from here, I just hang on to my feet, and then I just tip-tock side to side. So if you want to move around, you can always go side to side. You can do little circles. You can even do twists. And if you're like, no, I'm staying still, then stay still. If you are doing the micro movements, just imagine like there's cool, soft water flowing through your joints. And even if you're sitting still, you can imagine the synovial fluid that lubricates your joints moving around in the stillness. Inhale, lengthen back up to seated, grab under your knees, plant your feet, and then you're gonna give yourself a hug. So from here, hug, and then you can drop your forehead towards your knees. Stick your tongue out a little, inhale through your mouth. Exhale, nose. Again, inhale through your mouth. Exhale, nose. One more, inhale, mouth. Exhale, nose. Inhale to lift. And then take your feet as wide as your mat. I'm going to turn so you can see better. And then toes point out, heels come in. And then take your hands behind you so you can go gently side to side. And then just look at the shape that your legs are making. It's kind of cool. Some people call it like a half pinwheel, whatever that means. And then the next time your legs go over to the left, turn your heart towards your left knee, and then inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Ooh, feel that. It's like modified pigeon. Inhale, lengthen back up, or more accessible pigeon. I'm trying to like reword my language here. Exhale, hinge forward. One more time, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge. If you want to come close to the floor, you can, but you don't have to. And then we'll do the other side. So inhale, come up. Hands can come behind. Switch the knees over to the right. Turn your heart towards the right knee. Exhale, hinge over your right leg, lower down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hinge over, release down. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge. Again, that gentle fluid motion. Inhale, come back up to center. Then we're gonna do a bunch of different variations with this itself. So you can go side to side with the hands behind, stabilizing your balance. If the knees go over to the right, you can keep your right hand down and lift the left arm, twist. Lower down, legs left, left hand down. Inhale, the right arm can lift and twist. So do that a couple of times if that feels good. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to switch sides. You'll notice you'll start to travel forwards. You're going to go towards the top of your mat. That's normal. Make sure you do both sides evenly. So obviously I'm doing each side 3 times because that's my favorite. That's just kind of my go-to. So next time your legs go over to the right, you can inhale your left arm up, maybe the hips lift. Exhale, sit, twist to the other side. Inhale, right arm up, hips can also lift. So you're using your back arm to stabilize. Do 2 more each side, whether you're lifting the hips or not, whether you're lifting the top arm or not. And if you're like, I don't feel like doing this, do something else that makes you feel happy, that feel good. Okay, once you've done 3 times each side, recenter yourself in the middle of the mat, switch back a little bit. And then here you have the option of just continuing with any of those variations that we did. You can also try to do no hands. So if you're doing no hands, it just takes a little bit more effort with the legs. So going side to side, you'll feel it in your low belly. You'll feel it in the hips a lot. You might even feel it in the lower back quadrants. So again, option, keep your hands down. You don't have to lift the arms. And if you're like, that's too easy with the arms lifted, then you're gonna go lift hips, sit, no hands, mom, switch, lift hips, sit 3 times or 3 times, depending on where you are, each side. And I like to keep my hands toward my heart because then I feel less vulnerable. I don't know why. I feel less exposed. I also feel less stupid because I'm like, what do I do with my hands, right? You could also trace the surface of the water. Again, 3 times each side. Oh, that's more than that. So when you're done, come back to the center of your mat with your butt. In your favorite way, you're gonna lay down. Take your knees towards your chest and move the legs in a way that feels really good for your back, your hips, your shoulders, all the things. Then squeeze your right knee in towards your chest, left knee or left leg extends forward and down. Then keep hanging onto your right knee with your left hand. Inhale, your right arm opens, and exhale, twist over to the left. So it could go really far, it could go not far at all. You can turn your head, you don't have to turn your head. Basically anything that feels really good on your right hip and on your low back and on your shoulders and on your neck. All the things need to feel good. Make all the things feel good. And if you want, you can do 3 breaths with the tongue out, inhaling through the mouth, exhaling through the nose, continuing to cool down the mind, the body, the heart, your anger, your fire, whatever you need to cool down. Or you can just breathe normally. And just noticing how your body feels in the twist. You can decide at any time when you feel like going to the other side. But if you want to be told when to go to the other side, before we recenter, take one more long inhale and exhale. Then inhale, roll to your back again, bend your knees, recenter your hips, knees back into your chest, move around, maybe a happy baby, that feels good. Basically any movement, any posture, any pose, position that feels good on your low back, just move around in that way. And as you feel ready, left knee squeezes in, right leg extends forward and all the way down to the mat. Inhale, open your left arm, and exhale, cross your left knee over to the right. So any adjustments you need to make it more comfortable for your low back, your left hip, your shoulders, your neck, your head, moving around. Again, letting go of tightness, of anger. And being okay with any amount of letting go. You don't necessarily want to let it go all at once. You want to take it off like you're taking off a lot of layers after you come inside from a really cold climate. A gradual letting go, a gradual releasing through self-care, self-love, and some compassion. Again, if you want to follow your body's cue and wait a little more, you can stay in the twist. If you're ready to come out, take one more long inhale and exhale. Inhale, roll yourself onto your back again. Recenter hips, recenter legs. Basically any movements you need before Shavasana. And your Shavasana can look like anything, so anything that is softening and encouraging relaxation in your body. You can have bent knees can come together, you can have knees a little bit apart. Have legs extended, long, arms by sides, palms up, down, hands to belly. I always do hands behind my head, like I'm laying at the beach, watching clouds go by. I invite you to turn the video off if you just want to lay here and fall asleep and take a nap, if you're in a space to do so. And if you want it to be timed and you want to be told when to come out, then you can keep the video going. Wiggling anything else into softness and into rest. Can you allow your breath to be fluid? Soft, smooth, and continuous. Can you be aware of any lingering anger, if you have any, without being fully immersed in it? And if you have let go of most of your anger during this class, can you notice how you feel to have unburdened yourself from this anger? I invite you to stay here for as long as you would like. And if you are ready to transition out of your Shavasana, take 3 deep inhales and exhales. When you are ready, you can start to wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Move through your wrists and ankles. Maybe turn your head a little side to side. Feel like full body stretches. Arms can reach back behind you. Bring your feet together. Knees can come towards your chest whenever that makes sense to you. Any movements that make sense to you, please do those. In your favorite way, rock or roll yourself up to a seat, whatever seat makes sense to you. Moving a little bit side to side. Hands can rest on your knees. You can always bring your hands to the heart. Again, I want to thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you are less pissed and you can be a little more productive. I hope you have a great day. Namaste.